Welcome to Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston, PhD. Glenn has held his doctorate in psychology for more than 30 years and is also a former multi-million-dollar consultant to the big food industry and uses his experience to help you defeat your cravings. This show will help you to focus on dramatically reducing cravings and leave the diet mentality behind, so you can more easily and effortlessly achieve your health, fitness, and body composition goals. Please remember, no doctor-patient relationship is created via this show, and you are responsible for confirming any changes to your diet, health, or psychological routines with an appropriately licensed professional before implementing them. Now, before we get started, if you haven't yet downloaded the free smartphone app to access dozens of these recordings all in one place, as well as to avail yourself of a confidential community for support, motivation, and assistance, please visit the podcast link on defeatyourcravings.com as soon as possible. And now, here's your host, Dr. Glenn Livingston.
Hey, it's the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston, and I'm here with a kind-hearted woman named Angela, who's agreed to share her experience and strength and hope and wisdom and observations, as well as her trials and tribulations and stalls and stumbles and recovery, so that you can all benefit from her experience and my counsel. Angela, how are you today?
I'm doing so well, and I'm very excited to have this session with you.
Tell me how I can help. Tell me a little bit about your story and how can I help?
The big thing I'd really like to discuss with you today is the feeling of perfectionism that I bring to all aspects of my life and how I have my attitude wrong about the way I approach perfectionism and binge eating. I'd really love for you to expound upon the whole principle that you talk about in your materials about how it's a quote, if you refuse to let yourself feel any shame for a binge, then you'll never binge again. I don't quite grasp that. I would really like your help wrapping my brain around it.
Can you ask me that in a slightly different way? Where are you with your feelings of perfectionism and shame? What do you perceive me to be saying, and how is it trouble for you?
So I'll give you a specific example. For the last time that I binged was a couple of weeks ago before I started the intensive coaching program. I read the book and was already like, mind is blown. This is fantastic. You know, these are great principles. But it was one of those things that you would call a conscious pig party, because I knew what I was doing, but I feel that I was having a farewell pig party leading up to the intensive coaching program where I'm like, okay, I know on this date I'm going to start. And the week before, like literally the week before, I literally would eat until I was sick every day.
I got to tell you, that's such a bad idea, but everybody does it. So go ahead.
It's annoying. And I'm ashamed of myself because I feel like, why am I doing this? I know better. I know I need to separate from my pig. And by the way, I have listened to so many of your podcasts. I'm really diving deep into this intensive coaching program. So it's like, I think what I need from you today is just your words talking to me, because I listen to Q&As. Yeah, I just think that it would help me to wrap my head around that attitude of perfectionism and just how can I not feel the shame and how can I get past that? You talk about how even though you are aware, if you don't separate from your pig, then you are doomed to, you know what I mean? It's like I feel doomed if I can't separate myself. I think that's where I'm tripping up.
Okay. The idea is to commit with perfection, but forgive yourself with dignity. And it's the classic analogy that I use is aiming at an archery target. When an Olympic archer aims at the target, they're not thinking maybe I'm going to hit it, maybe I'm not. They actually see that arrow going perfectly into the bullseye before they let go of the arrow. And if they miss it, what they do is they pay careful attention to the direction in which they missed it, to the length by which they missed the target, the very specific distance by which they missed the bullseye. They feel some pain about having missed the bullseye, but they make adjustments based upon the feedback, the very specific feedback that they got. And then they get up and they aim at the target again with perfection. That's the psychology of winners. That's how you make progress in life. And it's how our neurology is set up. We're set up to learn from feedback. And if you keep trying and you look squarely at the target and see what happened, and you take the little bit of pain of having missed and you make adjustments based upon the specific feedback, you almost can't help but win the game eventually, because our neurology is set up to learn and make adjustments and move forward towards the target. That's how we're built. The reason that people don't get there is that they either are too frightened to look squarely at the target and see what happened. I take a lot of heat for saying that one bite off of your food plan is a binge. Really, all I'm saying is you really have to know when you miss the target. You need to know with perfection where the edge of that bullseye is. Because if you don't know with perfection where the edge of that bullseye is, then you're going to hit something else. And most people are very frightened of that because their pig has so frequently said, well, you missed the bullseye, therefore we should shoot all of the arrows into the air. Screw it, let's just do it. And so they believe that the solution to that is to play blind archery or have kind of a fuzzy archery target. They don't really know where the bullseye is, but kind of sort of aim in that direction. No, aim with perfection, define the bullseye with perfection, take the pain if you miss it. But if you miss the target, that doesn't mean just eat whatever you want to for the rest of the day. It means that you have to do some serious analysis, make adjustments, and aim again. Okay, so that's one of the reasons that people miss, they don't learn, or they don't get better, is because they refuse to aim at a very clearly defined target. So if you listen to a lot of my podcasts, you will hear that a big part of them in the beginning is getting a very precisely defined target with zero ambiguity. Without that, you don't have feedback, you can't get better. Now, the second thing that stops people from getting better is that their inner pigs or inner reptilian brains seize on the mistake and say, you are just pathetic. You're a pathetic archer. You're never going to hit the bullseye. Or a better analogy for that part is if your hand touches a hot stove by accident, it would be like the pig saying, forget it, you're a pathetic hot stove toucher. You might as well put your whole hand down on it. It wears you down. It talks about your character. It collects evidence of failure. It tells you that you're too weak to possibly accomplish that. You never have before, therefore you never will in the future. When the facts are that the critical difference between people who lose weight permanently and people who yo-yo diet is the sheer number of attempts behind them, which matches the archer's analogy. If you get up repeatedly and aim at the target and make adjustments, you're going to win the game. People who find a way that's finally successful for them to lose weight and keep it off have a multitude of failures behind them. So when the pig says that you're pathetic, you failed so many times, you're unlikely to ever win this game, all your failures prove that you're unlikely, it's actually just the opposite. The sheer number of times that you've tried puts you in a category where you're more likely to be successful, right? And the pig's motivation in getting you stuck in perseverating on the guilt and shame after a mistake. It's not the pig that lets you feel the pain. Like, you really have to feel the pain of touching a hot stove, because if you don't, you're not going to know that you missed the target. You're not going to know where it is next time. You're going to touch it again. By the same token, once you know where the hot stove is and you've made adjustments and you made note to yourself not to do that again, it's not helpful to perseverate on the guilt and shame. And when it comes to pig slop or hyperpalatable food-like substances, concentrated forms of starch and sugar and fat and oil and excitotoxins. When it comes to that, telling yourself that you're pathetic, letting the pig tell you that you're pathetic and collect all the evidence that you're pathetic, it's really binge motivated. It's trying to get you to give up and accept being a happy fat person, right? It wants you to feel too weak for the next binge. It doesn't want you to do what you're supposed to do, which is collect evidence of success. Did I stop the binge after 5 cupcakes instead of 15? Did I binge for 3 hours instead of 6 hours? Did I binge for 3 days instead of 60 days? And how was that possible? How did I stop myself and aggressively collect evidence of success? We track success very closely in our program. We track the reduction in binge frequency, we track weight loss, and we track satisfaction and stress. And we get a 91% reduction in binge frequency in the first month for the clients who engage. The clients who go hide and binge, we can't do anything about it. We keep trying to get better or talking them into engaging with their coach. And they hide and they binge because their pig has given them the wrong idea about how to use perfectionism. So, Angela, I'll stop in a second so you can ask questions. Just want to get this thought across. People think that perfectionism is a problem, but it's only a problem in context. It's a big problem when you utilize it, or you let your pig utilize it after a binge to say, look, you're obviously not perfect, therefore you're nothing. Therefore, you might as well binge, yippee, yippee, yippee. It's not a problem when you use it to perfectly aim at the target and perfectly define the target. It's an asset. And so what you want to do with perfectionism is aim with perfection and forgive yourself with dignity. Use your perfectionistic tendencies to define the target and motivate you to aim at that target while you purge your mind of doubt and insecurity so you can focus all of your energy on the goal and become one with that target, but then let go of the perfectionism when and if you make a mistake. After you've made a mistake, then the idea is progress, not perfection. The pig uses it in just the opposite way. The pig says, when you're aiming at the target, you should use progress, not perfection. Like, you can't say you're never going to have sugar again. Come on, progress, not perfection. Just do your best. That just means I'm going to try for a little while until I don't feel like it anymore. When you make a mistake, the pig says you're not perfect, then you're nothing. So it's just the opposite. You have to make a clear delineation between perfectionism as a commitment tool and perfectionism as an analysis tool. It's phenomenal as a commitment tool. It's horrendous as an analysis tool. Does that make sense? Does that help you at all?
Very much.
So what questions do you have that would make this more relevant for you?
I love everything you just said. It's what I needed to hear. I've been hearing you say it on other podcasts and other coaching calls in the intensive program. I just think that I have to absorb it and I have to remember it. And the perfectionism tendencies, I don't think they're going to go away, but I have to change my attitude towards where I apply it. So I really appreciate that detailed explanation. That's so helpful. I don't know. I love it. And I'm glad I'm talking to you because it's exciting because I hear you say these words to others. I'm like, he's talking to me now. So it's really good. Something that helped me also a couple of weeks ago, and I'd love for you to tell it to me too, because I heard you do this podcast with a lady named Lisa. I listened to that podcast twice because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to hear this message. It was the one where you talked to her because she had been very successful using the techniques, but she had the fear that she would stumble soon. And you were like, that fear is already a pig squeal. That in and of itself is a pig squeal. I would love for you to tell me that because I have that fear as well.
What form does it take?
It's that I have been doing this program and I just have so much excitement and enthusiasm about it because I feel like, wow, I see things as I've never seen it before. And so I feel that my pig is fighting the joy because I'm learning all these techniques. And it's like, I'm going to get you one day. Like I haven't thought of all the pig squeals that it's going to hit me with yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can't get you now, but I'm going to get you later. The way to overcome that is to recognize that later is now. When it's later, it's still going to be now. You just have to hold on to the idea that you never binge now. You've got a rule, you never binge now. What you're experiencing as a fear is really the pig's wish, and the pig is very excited about its wish. It says that it has a time machine and it can project out into the future to this mythical day when you're not going to follow your rules. And it's very excited about that. It's a very deep wish. And that's okay. Pigs have wishes. You don't have to be scared of that. What you need to do if you want to feel confident is assign that wish to the pig. You're not separating from the pig when you say, I'm afraid that I might binge later. You want to separate from the pig and say, the pig wants me to binge in the future, but I never will because I never binge now and it's always going to be now. And the future is an infinite string of nows. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It's a trick of mind, but it's true. It will always be now. And we're always wanting to cultivate certainty and confidence rather than fear and insecurity. The mythology in our culture is that if you don't stay scared and you don't stay vigilant, the pig is going to get you. So 12-step programs that tell you you have to work a good program forever. This is not something you have to work at forever. This is something you want to follow the principles and make a part of you so you can go on with the rest of your life. I was telling someone the other day, everybody knows I haven't had chocolate in 6 years now. Do you know I don't have a rule for that anymore? On my food plan, there's no rule that says I'll never eat chocolate again. I just don't eat chocolate. I don't even remember when it fell off the plan. I must have made a conscious decision to take it off the plan at some point for this reason, but I woke up earlier this year and I said, where's the chocolate? And what had happened was I had a chocolate rule for a couple of years. Reading that every morning helped put all of the chocolate squeals in focus. Like if I will never have chocolate again, then any thought, feeling, image, or impulse in my mind that suggests I will have chocolate between now and the day that I die is the pig by definition. It's a pig squeal. So it helped me to become more aware of the squeals. If I needed to, if this felt tempting, I would refute the squeal. I would write down why it was wrong. Like when the pig said, you could just start again tomorrow, I would say, no, I can't. Because if you have a craving and you reinforce it, it's going to be not even just the same. It'll be harder. If you're in a hole, you got to stop digging. I did that for a couple of years. Really just a couple of months was what did the bulk of the work. I kept it on my plan for a couple of years. And then I just had become a person who doesn't eat chocolate. It's just not part of my food vocabulary anymore. It's almost like saying, well, I will never eat Martian dirt. When am I going to have the opportunity to eat Martian dirt? I'm not a person that lives on Mars. Maybe that's not the right metaphor, but you know what I mean? It's just,
I get it. It's your character. And you talk about that, about how we're building the character traits where we are the people that do not binge.
And the reason we're doing that is so that we can cultivate certainty.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're not going to kick an old lady on the tush today on the subway, right?
Right.
Right? You know you're not going to go kiss a policeman on the lips. There are a lot of things you're absolutely sure that you're not going to do. It would be silly to say you have to stay vigilant or you might get that old lady kicking urge again. You say, no, that's not the kind of person I am. I'm never going to do that. And you go on with the rest of your life and you think about other things and you put your energy into other things. So my goal is not to have people get sucked into our program and stay there for 5 years. My goal is to instill a sense of confidence and independence and certainty so that you can live your life. You can become the person that you want to be. Does that help you?
So much. It's so funny how I've read the words that you've said, when you're talking about it's always now, I'm like, I have to write that 12 times, but hearing you say it to me has clicked it. I read those words and I'm like, I don't get it. Or I just could tell that I wasn't absorbing it. And I just feel that this is why coaching is great, because I heard you talking to me and I'm like, oh, the light bulb has gone off over my head. Like, I am always in control now. The pig is caged because I am always in control, and it's just everlasting string of nows, and I can't predict tomorrow. But as of right now, I am choosing not to binge, and now is forever, So I think that that's what I needed to hear. I just needed you to tell it to me.
Any doubt is pig activity.
Okay.
I got that from Jack Trimpey. Any doubt whatsoever is pig activity. You are always 100% confident that you'll never binge again. Your pig has other ideas. That's the first step in becoming confident, because then you can change the language, identify very specifically what the pig is saying, and either ignore it or refute it, and you'll develop confidence.
I feel that I'm already developing it. I think that the tools, I should say, in my arsenal that I feel are already helping me are that you had advised, get out of your pig brain, go back to your prefrontal cortex, the higher consciousness, the higher thinking you. Because I just wondered, as before I started doing the intensive coaching course and I'm reading the book, I'm like, how do I switch out of it? And you're like, breathe in for a count of 7, breathe out for a count of 11, then go write down words, because that activates your front brain. And I'm like, man, my front brain doesn't like to get activated, but now I feel like I can do it. Now I feel like these were the missing steps I just needed. I just needed the information of give me A, B, C, D actions to take, because I think a lot of people like me are action oriented. And I got to tell you, I'm sure every person listening to this call has had the person tell them like, oh, well, if you have the urge to overeat, just go take a walk. Well, the walk doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, I've taken the walk and I came back and binged, and now I'm like, I definitely feel like these tools are already helping me. Ever since the beginning of this program, my pig squeals are so tiny, it's almost laughable. I would love to tell you a success story I had yesterday. I went to the hospital. I had woken up with a feeling of tightness in my chest, which, by the way, ended up to be nothing. I'm completely fine. They did everything, and they're like, you're great. But of course, I could have used that excuse to binge. But I'm reading the book, and I'm doing this course, and I literally was like, I don't care that I'm tired. I don't care that I'm starving because they wouldn't let me eat for 8 hours. I never binge. That's what I told myself. And I got right back on my food plan, and I'm very proud of that, and I'm thankful for learning the techniques so that I did not listen to my pig at all, because that is a classic case where I would have used pig squeal to just let myself go on a rampage for like a week or two. And instead, I'm like, nope, I was great. And I felt empowered, and I want to keep this feeling going. It's very good. I feel so happy. I have a lot of hope, and I'm like, wow, I would love to live my dream life. My big why is like, all the things I've been wanting to do and have more energy for, and be a better mom and succeed more in my career because my brain's not fuzzy from all the binge eating. All these things I think are going to open up. It's already opening up, even though it's been like less than 2 weeks. I already can feel the difference in my energy level because I don't binge. So I just want to keep it going, and I want to absorb the messages of this program and internalize it.
You will
it's
then keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different way of thinking than
Yes.
the vast majority of the world thinks. So it does require an immersion. That's why we have the program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have 8 books. And that's why we have the workbook. Angela, I'm really proud of you. You're doing great. You're doing just the right thing.
Thank you. Every piece of information you put in your books and in your coaching courses has been extremely valuable. It's like every page I read, I'm like, great information here. Turn the page. Great information here too. Like, it's so helpful.
I'm so glad. Is there any other way I can help you?
That's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for having the faith in my crazy pig-based system.
I'm just really thankful for this program.
Angela, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you, dear. Be well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast of Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the products and services Dr. Glenn offers to help you dramatically reduce your cravings and stop overeating in 90 days or less, please visit defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. That's defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. Thanks.